What's going on, guys? Welcome to week 1 of our producer contest / collaboration inside of Audiologix. If you're not in yet, don't worry, jump in anytime you want during any week. Just friendly competition between beat sales, collaborations, looking for sync license opportunities, marketing, all kinds of cool stuff. So jump in whenever you want. But today I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing on my week 1 because I'm jumping in with you guys and trying to up some of my producer game right now. If you don't know anything about me, I used to make a lot of beats 10, 15 years ago, and I used to sell them on a site called Rock Battle. No longer exists. It was a really cool site. You could do battles. I believe the owners of that closed that down and maybe partnered with somebody else, and I believe they own buybeats.com now. Similar thing. They're doing rock battles, or beat battles, I should say. And I was able to check it out and actually make an account. So I'm going to go over exactly what I'm doing. So I did make a couple beats recently. I'm not even going to go over that today. I'm going to go over some of these old beats I had, some Dirty South trap type beats, and I'm going to show you guys how I'm remastering them before I put them up for sale. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. So I'm remastering some of my old beats. Looks like I have about 8 tracks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 8 tracks. I'll show you guys what I'm using. I use PreSonus Studio One for mixing. You can do really similar stuff inside of FL Studio as well, or you can get a free program called Reaper. It's super mix friendly, but I like using this program for mixing rather than using FL Studio, like a producer tool, Ableton FL, whatever you guys are using, Logic. I like this. It's more mix friendly. So this is inside of the project window actually, so you get a whole frequency spectrum. You can see your balance between stereo left and right, stuff like that. So we'll jump in here. I'll show you guys a couple things. After I do this, I usually do distribute some of my work so I can collect some streaming royalties off of like Spotify, Apple Music, and then I'll of course go over what sites you would want to upload this to. As far as sync license opportunities, I am registering all of my work under BMI. You can also register it under ASCAP. There's a couple different places to do that, and then you have to look for platforms or music libraries to share your work on. And then we'll go over marketing and stuff, SoundCloud, DMing, following people on Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, we're going to go over that stuff too. That's category where I fall short. So I'll show you guys at least what I'm doing in this first week, and we'll go from there. So we'll jump into the mastering. So these are some of the tracks that I've had for a long time. Like some of these I made 6, 7, 8 years ago, but I think they're still, high enough quality and cool enough to sell now. So we'll check it out. So real quick, I'm just going to show you guys how I added a little bit of energy to this. And it's okay if you don't know how to use this, but you can take some of these plugins and apply this in literally any DAW you have. Like I said, FL Studio, Logic. So first thing I do is I try to match all the levels. I clean it up a little bit too. So I'm using multiband dynamics. Each one has a different set of plugins up here. The master plugins affect everything. That's just how the project page works in PreSonus Studio One. And that's why I like using it. So if we let's take a look at the last track. I like this one the best, Dirty South 16. So I'm just going to turn everything off for now, and then I'll show you guys what I'm doing to affect all the tracks. So little Dirty South banger I made probably back in 2015 or so, maybe longer, I don't know. It's probably been 10 years. I threw a little bit of multi-band dynamics on there just to hold in some of the low end. And there's plenty of YouTube videos and different topics on this if you guys want to learn how to use a multi-band compressor. But basically I'm using it to not only compress the mid-range, but to boost it a little bit. That's a big thing with beginners. They don't understand how to manage low end. So that's basically what I'm doing. And all of the energy is in the mid-range. So I'm compressing it a little bit and I'm boosting it because I want the mid-range up so you can feel the energy. I'll show you guys what that's doing. I'll turn it on and off for you. So honestly, super subtle, but just a little bit of cleanup. Get the mid-range out a little bit more cohesive, so it's not too spread or anything. That's all I'm looking for, just to get it cohesive and add some energy. Big one add energy is saturation, so distortion or saturation. I'm using a saturation knob from Softube, and I'm adding low saturation. So that's going to hit my kick and my 808. That's what you want, low end saturation. Get your kick and your 808 a little bit more energy. And I just boost it a tiny bit, so I don't do anything crazy. Just so that that little light goes off every once in a while when it hits hard. And that's it. I mean, you could mess with the settings, but I just like the low setting. Just boost it a tiny bit. It will add volume, so you got to be careful. Little EQ, clean some things up here. Let's see what I did. Yeah, I guess that hi-hat wasn't leveled too good. Like I said, this was a while ago that I made this, probably 10 years ago, so my mixing wasn't really up to par at the time. And I did boost the mid-range a little bit because I felt like it was lacking there. I think in this track, my 808, so my sub and my bass were like super heavy, and then I had that really annoying hi-hat bell sound, so I had to pull that down a little bit. So just be careful with subtractive EQ. You don't want to take too much out, but if there's a really harsh frequency, you're probably going to want to take it out. So that's what I ended up doing. Mix tool. I try to level all my tracks around the same level before I send them to the master. So I think that's all I was doing. I pulled it down about 10 dB because it was just cranking. It was heavy. So I pulled it down and I threw a limiter on it just so it didn't go above probably 6 or 5, -6 or -5 dB. Got it around -5 right here, 4.92, just to match the others. And I always do a loudness test. So if you click this button, it'll do a quick little loudness test for you. I think I tried to get them all around -10 LUFS. So a lot of different criteria and research out there about what you should have it at. This one's actually at -13. Oh, you know what? I didn't follow this. I follow it in the master. I did not follow it here. I actually had it hit around -6 peak just by watching it. So I started doing that, watching and listening, rather than getting it exactly on the LUFS. But as I was saying before, like Spotify, they say you want it around -16, whatever. That's not true. That's not the case. If you look at modern music, I mean, they're cranking around 0 dB. So don't follow that LUFS bull crap. Just do what you want and make it as loud as you want. It doesn't really matter in the long run, even if you're distributing it to Spotify, Apple Music, or anything like that. So I had them crank around -6. When I get them to the master, now I'm going to bring it up to all the way up to tipping around 0 dB. I think I actually did, so I use a brick wall limiter. I think I did have it around -10 LUFS. So it's a little hotter, a little louder than what they would have you do. So first thing I got on the master, and this affects all my tracks, is the virtual tape machine. Adds a little bit of tape saturation. You can mess with the settings. I like leaving it here. It's crystal clear when it's on the half-inch 2 track. I want to have it on FG9. Bass is really clear. 30 IPS, that's the speed. I like the higher speed. If you throw it down here, it's a little bit more lo-fi on 15 IPS. I just keep it on 30. It's a little bit more modern. Push the input a little bit. The input matches the output when you move this, when you go like that. So let's undo what I did. Cool. But yeah, it just adds a little bit of saturation and cohesiveness. That's what you want. Energy, saturation, cohesiveness. Let's see, I can already hear that. Soothe 2, it's a great plugin. Cleans up harsh frequencies. That's it. There's a lot of different settings. Sometimes I use a setting. Sometimes I make my own custom setting. This one I used the less mud on the master. All these tracks were super bass heavy and a little bit muddy, in my opinion, so I used this. I set the depth. You can set the sharpness, the sensitivity, the balance between mid, side, left, right. So many different things you can do in this. And they have really good presets that you can just click and start with and then adjust it from there. So I always use this. This cleans it up real nice. Check it out. Pretty dope if you ask me. FGX2 adds some glue. You can also bring out transients. You can make it more cohesive. It's basically a stereo bus compressor. It's from Slate Digital. I use a lot of Slate Digital plugins. I got it on the loud mode. So just gluing everything together, adding some energy. Of course, the distortion from Kilohertz. You get this free if you are a subscriber to the Slate Digital plugins. I have it on hard clip mode, so a little bit of hard clipping. Again, adding energy. I got, it just adds like an analog feel to it. and then you can adjust your mix. So you can really crank it up and then pull it back. I'll show you guys this one real quick. Then of course I'll pull that mix knob back, but somewhere around there. That's where I liked it. A little cleanup EQ. Yeah, for the low end. So this is cool. This is also from Slate Digital. I'm not actually pulling all these frequencies down, just the ones on the side. So in stereo, anything that's stereo left and right, I'm pulling down that sub because I want most of my sub just to be mono, and that's really going to clean up your tracks. So a little mix tip there. This one's just mono. Again, it was bass heavy, so anything that was mono, I pulled down a little bit, like a dB. Looks like in my bass range, so 30, 40, 50, somewhere around there. Pulled it down. And then this is just side, so mid, side, anything that was left and right on the sides, I took it out. Anything that was in the sub, it just cleans it up a lot. And then, of course, my brick wall limiter. I think I have it on a clipping mode too. Yep, I have it on a hard clip type right here. I set it around -10 LEFS. This is cool because you can just hit play, and then you can hit reset, and it'll set your level to -10 LEFS. So it's perfect. So these are my master settings. I'm probably going to bounce these out and upload them, actually release them onto Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Amazon, everything, so I can get the streaming royalties for it. And it's also a great marketing tool. So all my stuff is listed under Colin Childs, just my first and last name. I don't have a crazy beat name anymore. I used to go under Young Child Beats, then it was YCB Productions. Now it's just my name. I just want to be known by who I am, by my name. So that's pretty much it for my mastering right there. I know I went through it a little bit quick, but we can do some more tutorials and some detailed stuff at a later date. But those are some of the things that I use. You guys can use whatever. I used to use free plugins all the time, all the stock plugins that were in FL. That's how I still make my beats, in FL Studio. But when I mix, I'm using PreSonus Studio One. It's very similar to Logic. It's very similar to Reaper. It's very similar to Pro Tools. You guys can use whatever you want. There's no rules, and they pretty much all work the same. Even the free plugins are great. A lot of them are great. But some of these, like the TC Electronic, brick wall limiter I paid for. It's a really nice limiter, and I'm glad I paid for it. And then Soothe 2. It's a little bit more expensive of a plugin, but it's a great plugin. But that's my mastering process. So other than that, I'm going to show you guys my BeatStars account, which is where I just started uploading again. So I don't know what's going on, if this is a glitch or what, but it's like 0 plays, 0 repos, 0 comments, whatever, which I know is fake because some guy commented on my thing, and I got a new follower. And then, of course, 0 net sales. I don't know what's going on. I had a free account. I think I've been grandfathered into it, but there's a glitch going on because I think you have to subscribe to one of their things. And if I have to do that, I'll probably get the starter pack. See, this guy did comment on my thing, yet it's not showing. I don't think you can see stats unless you sign up on their starter pack. So if you look at their plans, here's the starter pack. So it's not going to show me my stats until I do that, I guess. But I will show you guys my page so far. It's allowing me to upload beats. I don't know if they're legitimately listed or if anybody can see them. Probably not, because I'm not getting any plays. There was another thing I saw. I believe they have some sort of algorithm similar to YouTube. So if that's the case, I might even completely start over my BeatStars account and start it from scratch. And I'll walk you guys through that too for those of you who are just starting selling beats. But I used to have a lot of success in the past, and I guarantee I could get it going again. But if we take a look at my page here, BeatStars profile. So here it is. A couple old beats on here, a couple pictures of me. It says I got plays, 210, apparently, 11 followers. I just list them cheap, $10 for the really old ones, $20 for the ones that I think are good, and that's pretty average if you look at beats on here. I'm not going to put them up for $1, but I'm also not going to put them up for $50. So that's what I priced them at. You guys can price them at whatever. A couple tips I will give you guys on here. Some research I've been doing on BeatStars and beat selling sites in general is that you want to post consistently. So either once a day or at least 2 to 3 times a week. So I posted these 2 the other day. These have all been on here, and I think it's just outdated. So I think I'm going to start it over and do the starter pack and see if that gets me plays. Then I can see the statistics. Back to the tips on selling beats. Start small, start once a week, start twice a week, whatever it is, but be consistent. The other thing on BeatStars alone that I saw was that you should add tags to your title. Actually, all of them, I started doing this. I named it Run It Up, but I added tags to my title. So Dramatic Trap, 2010s Hip Hop, Ace Hood, and Young Jeezy type, whatever. And this guy said it was a straight up hit, so I like that. I tried to like it. It says 0. It's weird. This one's called Sirens, but again, I threw the tags in the title. Dirty South beat with trap, or trap with brass, and then synth, I'm throwing the tags in there. So until I upgrade this account, I don't think it's going to really get plays. So we're going to test that out coming up. So this is the one site I like to use just because of all the good things I hear about it. But it is saturated with a ton of producers. So you got to make sure your stuff is mastered really well. Oh, this is getting plays. It got 8 plays. Okay, so I can see some stuff. That's good. I mean, I just listed this like yesterday. So we'll see what happens. Nothing yet, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, this one I did a while ago. So the other site that I like to use is Airbit. So I'm just starting with literally, guys, mastering my stuff, getting it on Spotify, Apple Music, and then putting it on these sites. That's all I'm starting with so far in week 1. Airbit's the other site. This is it. Let's see if I can find my profile. There it is, Beats81. Log in real quick just to show you guys. So same stuff. I got more on this one. And this one's acting kind of weird too, where I don't know if I'm getting plays or not, or if it's outdated, because I've had it for a while. I listened to a few beats and then I forgot about it for like 6 years. So I'm going to have to upgrade all my stuff. And then there's one more. It's buybeats.com. Oh, no. Either I put in the wrong password or it's not working. All right, well, check that one out on your own. Apparently there's something wrong with the site. So that's what I'll start with, guys, is mastering your stuff, making sure it's up to par. I mean, take your time on it. You don't want to rush artwork. These are just literally beats that I've had sitting here that they're all done. I'm just remastering them so there's more energy, they're loud, and then I'm getting them on these sites. That's it. Getting them on these sites, and then I register all of my work through BMI, which you can also use ASCAP. I'll show you guys BMI real quick. So you got to sign in. Like BMI, they just updated like a royalty dashboard, which is pretty cool. Royalty statement. So this is all of your back-end royalties. If your music ever gets played live anywhere or on television, TV shows, commercials, things of that nature, they're going to record all of that. You have contracts, all kind of stuff. So, and then this is where you obtain your IPI number. You need your IPI number if you're going to try to do sync licensing, which is exactly what this is for. So you get your works catalog. It's super easy to register tracks. So here's some of my stuff. So I've been trying to get this in there. But all these new tracks, I'm going to have to go through and register them. Just click register new work. That's it. So to pull this up, it's going to log you in. And then you're going to fill everything out, which is pretty cool. So 2 places where I list my beats. After you do this, you're going to have to get them into music libraries. There's a lot of different ways you can go about this. And there's different ways you can connect with music supervisors, people that handle sync license, stuff like that too. But a great start is finding music libraries. I use 2 of them. I'm in 2 of them. I have contracts, just 2 of them. It's hard to get in because they're closed like all the time. So when they have an opening, take advantage of it. But AudioSparks and TuneEdge are the 2 that I'll show you those real quick. You can go into, you got your reports, marketing, whatever, vendor settings. It's got my catalog in here. So I have a TV play one that I just did. This one's kind of short. It's got a sting in it. We'll talk about stings later for sync licensing. But this one's one of my TV tracks. So there's that one. And then you got, they just have tons of music for TV on this. So this is a good one to get into. And then, of course, you have TuneEdge. They just moved their artist portal. So luckily I was able to get into TuneEdge. You do have to submit some stuff with your application, and then you have to get accepted. But, everybody uses them. Amazon, BBC, Netflix, Fox Sports. So this is a big one to get into. And sync licensing is huge. It's a great way to make money. CBS, NBC. But you can contact them, log in. Artist portals here. I'll show you guys some of my work. Sign into my artist portal. And right now I just have the 2 tracks with badges pending. So in this 12-week period, my goal is to get probably 10 or more tracks in TuneEdge and probably 10 more on AudioSparks as well. And I'm going to upload all those old beats onto Apple Music, Spotify, and everything will be registered under BMI, which you have to do to get your sync license back in royalties. And last but not least is going to be your Instagram and your SoundCloud. So that's the other thing that I got to do. My SoundCloud is so outdated. It's unreal. I'll show you guys my SoundCloud. Here it is. I got some mix contest submissions on here. This one actually got a lot of plays, 2,600. I'll take it. And then I have some of my beats on here too. Reshared to Jalil Beats. Love Jalil Beats. And some other stuff. These are just old old bangers. But yeah, I'm going to make some new beats too. I hope you guys are as well. I hope you guys are learning something, getting something out of this. But yeah, jump in. If you're not in the group yet, jump in. There's still time. Even if we're in week 4, 5, 6, whatever, jump in at any time. It's just a way for us to collab, learn new things, kind of compete a little bit, just friendly competition. We got some sound packs available if you guys want to grab those, but just really cool stuff. And then before we head out, you guys my Instagram and then my artist page on Apple Music, just so you can kind of get a feel for that. So here's my Instagram. A lot of different ways you can set up your Instagram. There's my cat. I got some buddies. I'm a guitar player, a drummer, but I have some of my mixes, my productions. I engineer stuff too. I record. So I do everything, but now's the time. I ride dirt bikes too. That's on there. But now's the time for me to kind of up my producer game, and that's why I wanted to jump into this friendly competition 12-week period with you guys. Try to up my game and get back into producing a little bit, but this is my Instagram. It's pretty much a portfolio. Beat Instagrams are a little different. Maybe I'll find somebody's real quick who's a producer. That's not a good example. Let's find another guy. This guy's got some of his tracks on here. Is probably something you want to do. I think this guy might be this guy might be in the competition. But you get the point. And last but not least, I'll show you guys my artist profile real quick. This is pretty much all we got going on. Make it professional. I'm going to change that picture. This is a recent EP I did. And then another EP. And then I uploaded some of my old stuff, but I put my release date back in 2016 because that's when I finished all that work. So 2016, then we got some new stuff from 24. I'm going to be putting out some Dirty South beats here in the next couple weeks and uploading those to all those sites, getting them registered, and then sharing them on SoundCloud, etc. We're going to go over marketing, kind of upping our game on social media, connections, reaching out with people, doing collaborations, all kind of stuff. We're going to grow our pages, get some beat sales, and get some sync license opportunities. I'm excited to do it. Again, if you guys aren't in the community, get in the community right now. We could use some more guys. Just learn from each other, man. It's a fun time. So see you guys in there. Hopefully this helped. This is what I'm doing in week 1, and I'll catch up with you in week 2. Later.